Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Concrete Zebra with Craftmaster Productions, and today we're going to Compton. What's up, everybody? It's Concrete Zebra with Craftmaster Productions and Studio1Tutorials.com, and today we're gonna do this. All right, now, first things first, I want to say what's up to some new subscribers. We got Brandon Knowles, Sean Gill, Shadow Wolf, DJ Sinbad, K Houston, Lauren Clifford, T Clark, Mence, Bianca Reguera, Faculty, Andrew For Real One, William Munnerlin, Michael Pacheco, Shane Payne, Aaron Carter, and Deonis 2012. I want to say thank you guys for subscribing. It's really nice to have you all in the fold. You know, I hope you guys keep watching the videos and learn something new that you can apply to your own original productions, because that's what we're going for. With that, today we're going to look at how to produce something in the style of the new Compton album, specifically looking at the track Medicine Man. I picked that track because it's like a lot of the tracks on that album. By the way, if you haven't heard it, you should go get it. Whatever you got to do to listen to it, because it's probably going to be a very influential project, like all the DRE'S stuff. We'll talk more about that later. What we're going to do now is we're going to look at this track Medicine Man. It's one of these tracks that it's almost like two different beats, you know, but it's the same scale, same speed. They did something cool where in the front of the track it's acoustic drums, you know, sample drums type of style. So it has more of a live feel, it has a swing to it. And then in the second half of the track, it's quantized trap drums. Dre raps over the acoustic stuff, Eminem's on the trap stuff. And you know, if you guys watch my channel, you know that I am just absolutely all for mixing genres and mixing styles of drums and getting out of this, you know, fucking nerd concept where you're like, I only use sample drums, and anytime I hear hi-hats that sound like a bicycle, I just turn the volume off because it's stupid. So anyway, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break down the drums, because this track is a monster, and if I do it all at the same time, it's gonna mash the CPU. So we're gonna do the drums for the two parts, and then I'm gonna do another video with the instruments and the mixing. All right, so this track, the kick and the snare groove, right? Well, let's first talk about our sounds. The sounds that I used for the first part, which is like the acoustic drums, I used this kick. If you listen to it, it's got kind of like a reverb sound, which, you know, it's a big kick, but it still sounds like something that was recorded in a room with a mic. So you want to find something like this. That's from the Superstar O Ultimate kit. It's out right now. You know, I don't work for Superstar O or nothing like that. I bought the stuff as a fan, and it's been worth it, man. There's a lot of good stuff in there. This one is also from the same kit. Now, I like these snares because they're not really snares, they're snare layers. And there's a lot of stuff going on in the tail. And when you hear them in the context of the track, because it has that those noises in the high register, it makes it more pronounced in the track. Now, if you notice, when I stack this snare, I have this one providing the attack. You see my attack is really fast, and this one I slowed the attack up. When you're stacking drums, you want to if you're using two different samples, you want to have an idea of what they're doing. You know, like you're gonna use one sample for for the attack, for the initial smack, and then you're going to use the other sample more for the tail end, and you want to shape your ADSR with that in mind. Otherwise, what winds up happening is, if you don't use these controls, you just wind up putting two sounds on top of each other, and it gets louder, but eventually you have to turn that down to get it to sit in your mix, right? And then you didn't do anything, because you've got two attacks fighting each other and two releases fighting each other, and you wind up with more of a mess than the cool sound that you think you're getting. So those were my two snares, both out of the same kit. The hi-hat comes from Contact. It's if you get Complete 10, you get this thing right here. It's called the Abbey Road Modern Drummer, and it's like any of the drum modeling plugins that are out. So anything where you have a kit and it has different articulations, and this is why, if you listen to the hi-hats, you hear how that's two different hi-hat hits going up and down, going hi-hats. When you're working with your tracks and you're trying to make a more realistic sounding drum, hi-hats is the make or break thing. You want to get those sounding as realistic as possible. So that was why I used that, because what that does is that gives me two different articulations of the hi-hats that I can pick. You'll see the way it's programmed. If you look here, it's two different notes, and that's it gives you an up, down, push, pull feeling. So when you go ahead and do that, you get this. Instead of one of those repeating over and over again. So that's what's really going to make your track. Now, the groove here, as you'll see, let's change this color so we can tell the difference between the two. Okay, the red are the kicks, right? Now, what we got going on here is the track is in straight time at this point, right? 100 beats per minute. And let's listen to this actual groove, and then we'll break it down. Now, first thing that you'll notice when you take a look at it, one is that my kicks aren't completely on the grid. When you get into doing like these Dre type of tracks where there's a lot of instrumentation involved, they're gonna focus a lot on the groove. They're probably playing a lot of these drums out by hand and recording them straight into Pro Tools. They're probably not programming them. I know that's something that Timberland does a lot, and that's what gives his rhythms the crazy type of vibes. So if you want to emulate that, what you got to do is just get in here, and literally I just click on it, hold shift, and try to take it over 1 2 3 4, no more than 5 ticks. Zoom in as close as you can, and you'll see, like, you see 1 2 3, so between 2 to 5 ticks, that'll give you all the variation you need for it to be human. The snares on this West Coast type of Dr. Dre stuff, the way that they get their groove is by bumping the snare just a little bit further along in the beat. So you want each of your snares to hit kind of late, and it's going to give you this kind of pulling feel. Let's listen again. So that's it for those drums. The other thing that we added was a crash just to break up the monotony. You notice the sample. This is another one out of that Superstar O kit. I really like that kit. I mean, if you guys that are, always hit me up like, yo, where do you get your drums? Where do you get your drums? Like, one, I don't steal them. You know what I'm saying? Because what's $50 to make 200 awesome beats? Like, just break bread with these guys. Like this kit is $50. It's nothing. And that's all the drums. It's really simple. It's a 2-bar loop riding out the whole way. Even in the original song, like I took, this is the original groove. I didn't change this. This was all there was. And the reason why you don't have to do so much drum work in this track is because there's this epic change up. So then you come over to this side, and you get these trap drums going on. And again, this groove right here, this is all quantized straight to the grid, right? Now, if you listen to if you heard that, that's another just another 2-bar loop of the kick over and over again. And this is all of these are hard quantized. So if you want to screenshot this real quick to copy the groove, it's set to 16th notes. The 808 was really simple. I started on my root note F. And then for the second part, I went up to the third note. So you get that kind of ascending bass line. The snare, just the basic snare. There's no snare rolls or anything in this pattern at all. The hi-hats is what really makes this pattern. And the thing about it is, in mine and in the original, is the way that they make it really stand out is by this pitch shifting. So when you go ahead and you make your pattern, we got if you guys want to, hold on, let me get it for you. If you want to screenshot this and get this clicked in, this is the first one is 16 triplet. Second one is 132. This is 1/8. This is 1/8. These are 132. The way that we get this sound, if you look on the bottom of your piano roll, you'll see you have velocity, modulation, and pitch bend. If you press the number 3, it'll bring up a pencil, and you just click anywhere on this line, and it's going to give you points. Then you go back and press 1, and you can manipulate those points. The most important thing to realize here is that you have to set up your pitch bend range inside of sample 1. So it starts out with just a range of 2, right? If you leave that on, it's no matter how far down you bend this automation curve, it's only going to bend 2 notes. So listen to the difference. Okay. See, there's not much of a difference there, but say, let's go obnoxious and pick 24. Now watch what happens. See, I like to use 12. That's how many notes are, how many tones are in an octave. So I just go ahead and use 12, and then you know that it's just going to go up and down an octave. Um, that's pretty much all you got to know to make hi-hats like these. And again, this is just another simple pattern. I mean, when you look at it like that, there's nothing to it. Now, if you go back and you listen to that to that track, you're probably cussing me out right now. Like, dude, like, it's not that easy. There's no way. Like, listen to this. This is just crazy. But you also got to remember, when you listen to the full song, you got Dr. Dre spitting a crazy verse, sounding like it's like the first time he's ever rapped, and it's gonna be the last time he's ever rapped. Like, his verse was nuts. Then you got Eminem going hammer time on this thing. You know what I mean? And their cadence is so crazy that it's not like a basic ass trap song where you're paying attention more to the kicks and the snare rolls and stuff like that, because them boys ain't really, captivating you with their words so much. So keep that in mind. It's really what I just showed you, these two bar loops. Those are the drums for the song. That's it, man. That's it. A lot of this stuff, a lot more of the instrumentation and stuff we're gonna go over on the next track. What I want you to take away from this is that this is another instance of keeping it simple but not being basic. You know what I'm saying? You could go in with a 4-bar loop, with a 2-bar loop, but maybe you need 2 of them. You see what I'm saying? Maybe you start the song out in straight time and then you end it in double time, or vice versa, and give the listener a beginning, a middle, and an end, and that way you take someone on a journey and don't just put them in a loop. That's what you want to avoid, when you're making music. And that's something that Dr. Dre has always been fantastic at, since the Chronic, since Doggy Style. You know what I mean? Like, those are 2 of the albums that I first started listening to rap from. And when you listen to a song like The Day the Niggas Took Over, and it starts with the music from the Riot, you know what I mean? And then it's or the clips from the Riot, and then it comes in with the speech, and then now you hear these boys rapping about what's going on in the neighborhood and how pissed off they are. Like, yo, like, you were there. You know what I mean? Like, you felt like you were there. Snoop's Murder was the case. Another one, like as a kid listening to that, and you don't really, understand, like murder and crime and things of that nature. Like, it felt like you were inside of an action movie, and the songs on this album, all the themes that he's trying to address, he does the same exact thing. And he does it with the sound clips, and he also does it with the music. So that's something that you're gonna want to think about, because if this music winds up doing really well, it's especially like there's a new wave of rappers coming out. You know what I mean? Just there's a whole, I'm not even talking about in the mainstream, like in the underground, and you're trying to sell beats, right? You're trying to sell your first little $50-$100 beats. There's gonna be people who want these type of rap epics, these type of rap operas, and when you listen to them, it can sound really complicated, but what you got to remember is, Dr. Dre is working with a team. So he's got 3-4 guys around him. One dude's on his laptop, the other dude's on his laptop, then they both dump it into Pro Tools, and this guy's got 2 beats to arrange. You know what I mean? So if you want to try to produce something like this, it's not like that's the mentality that you take. Make one beat, make another beat, and then put them next to each other in the same session, connect them with a riser or something like that. But we'll get into that more in the next video. Hope I gave you guys something to think about. I hope you've seen how easy it is to put just, the drums together. It's just all about sound selection and having a direction and knowing what you're going to do before you do it. Thanks to the new subscribers. I appreciate everybody. Keep it simple. Don't be basic. This is Concrete Zebra with Craftmaster Productions and Studio1Tutorials.com. And we'll see you on the next one.